After you have entered your students and finished entering your events, and they show up on your calendar, you are going to want to invoice your students. Up at the top, go to the Financing tab, and go down to the bottom of that menu and click on Invoice. Here you will see a list of all students and all events that occurred in the current month. If you would like to select a different month to view, you can select that up on the top left menu. If you would like to see the events for one specific student or for a group, you can select that from the top menu on the left. Over on the right, we have 3 different columns that are important. The available funds column is referring to the student's bank. It's not an official bank, but it's your NoteRunner-Studio bank, where you track the funds that the student has given you. So if a student gives you a check, you would enter it into their bank. You can access that bank by going to Students and clicking on the field underneath Bank associated with that specific student. And here's where you would enter a check or a cash amount that has been given to you by the student. Eventually, this will also allow you to add an amount that was paid by PayPal, so you can track that here as well. So let's go back to the invoicing screen. The next column, the second to last column, is called it's the current month's charges. So in this case, it's October charges. This is the amount owed just for October. This next column, called previous balance, is the amount owed for all of the months prior to October. It's your outstanding balance that has not been paid up until October. When you want to send out your invoice, you come down to the bottom left and you click Generate Invoice for October. It will include, the invoice that will be sent will include your October charge and your previous balance. It will refer to it as your projected balance, as we will not have reconciled yet. This button is your reconciling button, which will eventually be automatic, but for now, at the end of the month, that is the only time this reconcile button is available for this month. And this reconcile button will, when you are at the end of the month, you click the reconcile button to adjust your funds. So that's when money will be taken from the bank, if there is money from the bank. If your student has fees, let's go up here to Finances and click on the Fees menu item. These are various fees for several of my students, and those fees will also be included on this invoicing page. So on this invoicing page, you will have all fees and all events that occurred in that month. We wait until the end of the month to reconcile, because if there are additional fees and additional events that take place, we want to make sure that the actual invoice is correct for that month. But you can invoice them as many times as you like during the month to remind them, but it's a projected invoice and not the actual amount for that month. When you reconcile, that will be your actual amount. So this is a sample of what that invoice will look like that you will be emailing out to your students. In this case, this is a test lesson, so there are no real amounts in here. And that is a general overview of invoicing.